The first tool that we're going to look at in our automation testing is Quality Center. What does Quality Center do? Quality Center is an application, a web-based application, which means we have to use a browser to access it. There is a URL that you access, and the application is access controlled. So you can access the user based on the user ID that you get and roles that are associated with it. So you will have a system administrator who will be responsible for maintenance of this application.
Has joined the conference.
Create various repositories for you which you can use for your projects. Quality Center is an application in which you can do several things. You can manage your releases. So your maintenance that you can do with the application, that can be done here. You have release 1, code for release 1, planning for components. That can be done. So that's
has joined the conference.
For the application, Quality Center supports that. Then comes the BA role that you've been associated with, functional requirements. So there is a module here in this application which allows you to configure your requirements. So you have testing, not testing, your requirements management. First thing that we saw was managing our release. Second thing that we are looking at is our requirements. The third thing that we are going to look at is our testing. So in testing, since you know your requirements will link directly to your test scenarios. Test scenarios will be with test cases, with test steps. All that can be interlinked in this application here. So that's your managing your releases, managing your requirements, managing your testing. So in testing, there are various aspects. You have your test assets, that will be scenarios, test cases, and test steps. Then you have test execution also that you can do. You can use this tool for test execution. So what will happen in test execution? You will get a test script. In that test script, you will have test steps. There will be test steps that will tell you what you need to do, what data you need to use, what will be the expected result. All that will be done in this. You can execute tests here. After you've executed a test, you can also expect that there will be some problems. Right? Defects. So then you also have defect tracking available in the system. So this system allows you to have a linkage between a release in which you have requirements that have gone in, and with those requirements, what are the test cases that have been tested, what are the test cases that have been executed, what were the defects, all linked through and through in one common repository. That's why this tool is a winning tool. So looking at this release 1.1 that is in production today, what all was released? I can link it to my requirements repository. For this requirements, what were the test cases executed? I get a list of test cases. These test cases that we are executing, what were my defects? So right from defects to the release, everything is linked. The only thing is you have to link them to make sure that you can have traceability, which is the most important thing.
If we give the requirements and then when we link it to the testing module,
test cases.
Yeah, test cases, so it will automatically be populated, or we have to enter all the details manually again. And
once you establish the link between requirement and your test cases, as you execute your test cases, if your test case is associated with a requirement and if the test case passes, the requirement automatically gets certified. You don't have to manually update it. There is no batch processing that you need to do. So, for example, my requirement is valid user has access to the system. You create test cases, you execute test cases, and test cases are invoke the application, provide the user ID, provide the password, click OK button, and expect the application to give access to the user to go on to the flight reservation form. This test case passes. As you pass that test case, the requirement automatically passes. So that's the winning advantage of this tool, because this tool gives you a control on looking at the application progress at any given point in time. So a project manager who goes into the system will be able to look at what he wants in his report and find out. I have 5 defects open. These defects are important or not important for me to release. I can make that call and rest assured everything will be fine. So this is a very strong repository with a lot of characteristic features that will help you not only just manage your testing assets, but execute test cases, manage defects, and also strong reporting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the system administrator workflow first, show you how it is done, and then we will go into the next aspect. Now this application can be used by organizations that provide testing services. For example, Khoj Information Technology is a software quality engineering service provider. They have multiple clients. So for example, we have a client called Sony, we have a client called Fuji, we have a client called Pepperidge Farms. We can create on QC itself the separate domains for each of our clients and test all these on the same quality center. What I'm doing is I'm creating a logical separation at the client level. I'll create a domain called Fuji. In that, all testing activities for Fuji will be taken care of. I can go to Sony domain and create everything for Sony. Likewise, what we do is we create a separation between our batches. So batch 70 that I create as a domain will be dedicated to the team members of batch 70. And all the effort that they want to do will be controlled in batch 70 itself. In your training DVDs, you have something called QC training handout. So look at that. It will help you understand what we can do with this. So now what I'm doing is, you will probably never ever get to see this on your client side because system administrators are very different kind of people. They don't show all these things to you. So what you're seeing here is good for you to understand about the overall infrastructure of the application that I'm showing you here. So this application that you're looking at gives you a detailed breakdown of various domains. Domain is the highest level of separation. For example, as I told you, we work with multiple clients, right? So we can have a Sony domain, a Fuji domain, a Pepperidge Farm domain, etc., etc. For this domain, I would have some user management. I will create some users, right? For example, I will create a user of my batch 70, sorry.
When you say batch, what are you referring to?
The batch that you are in.
Okay, I understand. No, but in terms of, in reality they should not have batches and companies are not doing that. I thought it was something to do with the build or something. No. My name is project. Build, do we take care of what something, build what we do, this build what did we do?
That will be done here. You can do it in Quality Center.
So you can also segregate different builds.
Yes, you can.
So that's not
Release management can be done through this.
Okay. So that's different from batches.
Yes. So I'm creating a user 70, batch number 70, and my username is Ashish, right? So that's the convention that I follow. If you notice here, this is what we've been following, right? So, and then you provide information about the user, blah, 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 hit OK. Now you have a user that is created. Similarly, I will create the other users. I will go with these names that I have here. So give me a little time to build all the users here. Ravina, am I spelling it right?
Yeah, it's correct.
So this is the way I can create my site users. So you would be Jaya. Okay. Now I will start with the members online. I will start with Amol. Then Diana. While I'm working on this, I would like everyone to give a thought about the time for the second class, which is on the following Sunday. So please tell me what is your availability for starting early.
We have actually decided the first week in most of people who are online.
Online team members, please go ahead. Nupur, what do you think about starting early and what is your preferred time?
I'm open to it. I can start at 8 o'clock or I'm pretty open to it. So whatever is convenient to everybody else is okay with me.
So, Nupur is fine. What do you think about starting early, Priya? Priya, we need feedback. Please hurry up.
8 o'clock is fine with me.
Reena, what do you think?
I'm fine with 8 too.
Rekha, what do you think? Rekha? Rekha, going once. Rekha, going once. Rekha, going twice. Rekha, you need to join in and speak up. Please hurry up. Sandhya, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm fine with 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, all right.
Hello, Ashish.
Yes?
Can you hear me? This is Diana.
Yes, Diana, what do you think? We can start at 8?
Yeah, I can join the class at 8. Not next week, from the week after that.
But 8 o'clock is okay with you? What's the expectation for the next week?
Actually,